Key management sits at the heart of trust in any system that encrypts data because encryption is only as strong as the protection of its keys. Within the SOC 2 framework, a key management system, or KMS, is a centralized service that governs how encryption keys are generated, stored, rotated, and retired. It is not simply a technical tool, it represents the organization's discipline around maintaining encryption integrity. The concept of bring your own key, or BYOK, extends this by allowing customers to retain control over the cryptographic material that protects their data, even when hosted in the cloud. This ownership is crucial for proving confidentiality and privacy under SOC 2's trust services criteria. By demonstrating who controls encryption keys and how, an organization shows that it has not only implemented encryption, but also safeguarded the mechanisms that make it meaningful. Every key has a life cycle, and that life cycle must be managed with precision. The stages include generation, distribution, rotation, revocation, and destruction, each with distinct operational and security implications. Keys should never be treated as static assets. They evolve as systems and risks change. Custodians must be clearly defined, ensuring that only authorized individuals handle key material and related processes. Metadata, such as creation dates, rotation intervals, and usage boundaries, must be tracked meticulously to ensure transparency. An audit trail of all lifecycle events forms the foundation of assurance, providing evidence that keys were properly managed throughout their existence. In the SOC 2 context, this traceability links directly to audit criteria for control integrity and operational accountability. The Bring Your Own Key model gives customers deeper involvement in how their data is protected. Under BYO, the customer generates or imports their own keys into the provider's KMS, maintaining ownership while leveraging the provider's encryption services. This approach allows the customer to retain the right to revoke or rotate keys independently, strengthening their assurance posture. Contracts must document shared responsibilities between the provider and the customer, clarifying who handles what actions. Rotation frequency, access logging, and revocation authority are all defined upfront, ensuring that no ambiguity exists when incidents or audits occur. For organizations bound by privacy regulations or strict data sovereignty requirements, BYO serves as a tangible control, demonstrating who ultimately governs access to encrypted data. Access control within KMS environments deserves particular attention. Only a limited set of administrators should possess privileges to manage keys, adhering to the principle of least privilege. Multi-factor authentication adds a critical layer of defense, ensuring that no single credential compromise grants key access. Separation of duties helps prevent collusion or misuse, requiring multiple approvals for sensitive actions like key deletion or recovery. Each administrative activity must pass through a defined workflow, complete with justification and logging. Every attempt, successful or denied, should be recorded in immutable logs, forming a reliable evidence trail. Together, these controls uphold both security and compliance expectations under SOC 2's confidentiality and integrity criteria. Once keys exist, their secure storage becomes a matter of protecting the protector. Hardware security modules, or HSMs, provide tamper-resistant environments specifically designed to safeguard cryptographic keys. These devices, or managed services, ensure that key material never leaves secure hardware boundaries. Even when stored in software-based KMS solutions, keys should be encrypted at rest using strong algorithms. Backup copies, when necessary, must be encrypted and stored in separate geographic locations to prevent total loss from a regional incident. Organizations also document integrity checks and redundancy tests to confirm the reliability of their key stores. In essence, secure key storage ensures that even if other defenses fail, the secrets that secure data remain unexposed. Distribution of keys is another area where control and documentation intersect. Keys should only be shared with systems or services that have explicit authorization, never distributed broadly or casually. When keys are transmitted between systems, they should be encrypted themselves, often through a process called key wrapping, which uses another encryption key for protection during transit. Every transfer should generate logs noting when and to whom the key was sent, ensuring traceability. After a rotation, old versions must be immediately revoked to prevent accidental reuse. These practices prevent the same kind of exposure that has historically occurred in breaches where outdated or shared keys remained active beyond their intended lifecycle. Auditors reviewing SOC 2 evidence need proof that all these key management processes actually happen as described. That's where evidence generation becomes a formalized practice. KMS activity logs, rotation reports, and access histories are exported and stored securely for review. Metadata about each key, such as type, purpose, and last rotation, can be shared without revealing the actual key material. Auditors look for consistency between stated rotation policies and the timestamps found in logs. Approval records and change management tickets complement these logs, showing that all actions were authorized. Collectively, these artifacts prove that key management is not an abstract policy, but an actively monitored and verifiable process. Even the best systems must account for failure scenarios, and that's where key escrow and recovery procedures come in. Key escrow allows for the secure backup of encryption keys so they can be retrieved in emergencies, such as accidental deletion or corruption. However, access to escrowed keys must be tightly controlled. Dual control approval, requiring two authorized individuals to approve recovery, helps prevent abuse. Every recovery request must be logged, reviewed, and closed with documented outcomes. Annual tests of recovery procedures validate that they work as intended and reveal any procedural gaps. By testing recovery mechanisms, an organization ensures that business continuity and data protection can coexist even under stress. Trust is not just earned through control, it's also built through transparency. Organizations should communicate clearly with customers about their BYOK options, KMS configurations, and rotation practices. These details should appear in system descriptions, data handling policies, and customer contracts. When a customer understands who controls their encryption keys and how rotations are enforced, confidence grows. Some organizations publish summaries of their KMS practices, while detailed reports are shared under non-disclosure agreements. This open approach aligns perfectly with SOC 2's intent, not only securing data, but also demonstrating accountability to those whose data is being protected. In an era of cloud dependency, such disclosures are a hallmark of digital trust. Testing and validation complete the operational loop of key management. Policies are only meaningful if verified regularly. Organizations should periodically confirm that rotation frequencies match documented standards and that all relevant logs reflect expected behavior. Sampling creation and revocation records helps auditors confirm completeness. Administrative activity reviews detect unauthorized access or missing approvals. When discrepancies arise, corrective actions must be documented and tracked to closure. This process ensures that the control environment remains alive and adaptive, not static. In SOC 2 terms, such validation demonstrates operational effectiveness, proof that key management controls function not just on paper, but in real-world operations. For more cyber-related content and books, please check out cyberauthor.me. Also, there are other prepcasts on cybersecurity and more at baremetalcyber.com. When a key is compromised, the organization must act with precision and urgency. Incident response procedures specific to key compromise events define the triggers for action, the containment steps, and the communication flow. A compromised key can expose entire systems, so immediate rotation is often the first containment measure. For customer-managed environments, especially those using BYOK, this process includes promptly notifying the customer so they can revoke or replace their own key. Root cause analysis, or RCA, follows to determine how the key was exposed and whether broader systemic weaknesses exist. Documenting these findings in closure records not only helps improve resilience, but also demonstrates accountability during an audit. A key compromise incident should never be treated as an isolated event. It is a learning opportunity to strengthen the control framework. Key management cannot exist in isolation from broader encryption practices. It must integrate seamlessly with data classification and confidentiality controls. For instance, highly sensitive data, such as financial records or customer identifiers, may demand stronger encryption algorithms and shorter key rotation intervals. The encryption process must be end-to-end, covering data in transit and at rest, ensuring no gap where plain text is exposed. Verification activities, such as reviewing configuration files or encryption policies, confirm that systems align with the expected encryption strength. SOC 2 auditors often seek evidence that encryption standards align with industry benchmarks, such as AES 256 or TLS 1.2 and higher. By aligning key management with encryption policies, organizations ensure that technical protection aligns with governance intent. Many organizations depend on third-party services for part or all of their encryption processes, introducing a chain of dependencies that must be monitored. Vendors providing KMS functionality, cloud storage, or encryption as a service should support automated rotations and secure logging. Their SOC 2 or ISO 27001 reports must be reviewed to confirm coverage of relevant controls. Expired certifications or outdated attestations can become blind spots in the compliance landscape, so tracking renewal dates and control updates is vital. When providers change their systems, the organization's evidence cadence, how often they collect proof, should adapt accordingly. Maintaining this alignment ensures that third-party dependencies do not undermine the credibility of an otherwise strong key management program. Strong compliance programs always rest on a foundation of trusted standards, and key management is no exception. NIST Special Publication 857, for example, lays out principles for key generation, distribution, and retirement. ISO 27002 Annex 10 provides additional guidance on cryptographic controls. Referencing these standards within organizational policies signals maturity and diligence. They also help align SOC 2 controls under the confidentiality and privacy categories, bridging internal policy with external frameworks. Including these references in policy manuals provides auditors and staff alike with a clear foundation for expectations. Training sessions should reinforce not just the technical procedures, but also the rationale, why rotation matters, how revocation works, and what these processes achieve in protecting data integrity. Metrics and Key Risk Indicators, or KRIs, bring a measurable lens to key management effectiveness. Rotation completion rate per reporting period shows whether the organization keeps up with its policies. Tracking the number of keys per owner and their status helps identify possible overload or negligence. Failed rotation alerts highlight where automation or human oversight needs improvement. Mean time to remediate incidents involving keys reveals operational responsiveness. These metrics transform a compliance exercise into a performance insight tool, allowing managers to detect trends before they become risks. In mature SOC 2 programs, such metrics are reviewed during governance meetings, ensuring continuous visibility into the health of the encryption environment. Automation and tooling elevate key management from reactive to proactive. By scheduling rotations through automated scripts or cloud provider APIs, organizations eliminate manual errors and increase consistency. Infrastructure scanning tools can detect stale keys or unrotated cryptographic materials, prompting early remediation. Integrating KMS metrics into dashboards, such as a Cloud Compliance Manager (CCM) view, enables real-time oversight. Automation can also extend to evidence collection, compiling rotation reports and sign-off records automatically for audits. These efficiencies not only save time, but also demonstrate the maturity expected of a high-trust environment. In a SOC 2 context, automation directly supports the principles of integrity and continuous assurance. Even with sophisticated systems, the human element remains critical. Training and awareness ensure that administrators understand not only how to use KMS tools, but also why procedures exist. BYOK operations, for instance, require coordination between cloud engineers, compliance officers, and sometimes customers. Publishing detailed rotation guides and checklists supports consistency across teams. Quarterly tabletop exercises, where participants walk through simulated key incidents, reinforce readiness. Documenting attendance and completion of these exercises provides tangible evidence during audits. Ultimately, education bridges the gap between policy and practice, turning abstract controls into daily habits that strengthen the organization's defense posture. Despite best efforts, common pitfalls often derail otherwise sound programs. Manual tracking of key rotations can lead to skipped updates, leaving outdated keys active beyond their safe period. Missing or incomplete logging undermines auditability and can create gaps in evidence during SOC 2 reviews. Storing key material in insecure locations, such as within source code repositories, remains a recurring and preventable mistake. Addressing these pitfalls requires both automation and oversight. Monitoring systems should detect exceptions and trigger alerts when rotations are missed or logs are incomplete. Periodic reviews then ensure those alerts are resolved and lessons captured, closing the loop between detection and prevention. Cross-framework alignment strengthens both compliance efficiency and credibility. For instance, the controls governing KMS management under SOC 2 align closely with NIST Control SC12 and ISO Annex A10. By maintaining a mapping table between frameworks, organizations can reuse the same evidence across multiple audits, reducing duplication of effort. This harmonized approach appeals to customers and regulators alike, showing that the organization's practices meet multiple standards simultaneously. It also provides auditors with a clear view of how one control supports several compliance obligations. Cross-reference documentation embodies maturity, a clear sign that key management is not an isolated task but part of a comprehensive governance system. Maturity in key management evolves through recognizable stages. Organizations typically start with manual rotations and spreadsheet tracking. As they progress, they adopt automated KMS scripts and integrate BYOK models to enhance customer control. The next stage involves real-time analytics and alerting for key usage anomalies. At the highest level, predictive risk management uses data to anticipate when a key might be at risk based on activity patterns. This journey from reactive to predictive mirrors the broader evolution of cybersecurity maturity. Within SOC 2 programs, demonstrating progress along this path reassures auditors and customers that the organization continues to refine its security posture over time. Auditors look for consistency between expectations and evidence, so having clear evidence packages simplifies the process. Typical proof includes KMS activity logs, rotation reports, and dual control approval tickets. Policy documents that outline key management practices must align with the behaviors observed in these records. Training completion certificates demonstrate that administrators understand and apply procedures correctly. When incidents occur, corresponding RCA records round out the documentation, proving that control failures are investigated and corrected. The completeness of this evidence is what turns a policy into a defensible practice, closing the assurance loop that SOC 2 demands. In summary, key management and BYOK rotations represent the technical and procedural core of encryption assurance. Effective programs blend ownership, automation, and auditability into a unified discipline. They demonstrate that confidentiality and privacy are not abstract goals, but operational realities, supported by systems, people, and measurable evidence. As organizations mature, they move from manual oversight to intelligent automation, ensuring that key protection evolves alongside emerging threats. Looking forward, the same rigor applied to key management will extend to secrets management across code, pipelines, and DevOps environments, bringing consistency to how digital trust is protected at every layer of the enterprise.